Pro Modified. Now, I mentioned this class to anybody in drag racing now, and it almost brings the same sort of euphoria as if you mentioned Top Fuel. It's the hot rods time, let me tell you. And these are the machines, old and new, that come out to do battle against one another. Huge engines in these machines, and they can run the quarter mile 6 seconds, 200 plus miles an hour. Here's the promoter, Keith Bartlett.
Keith, in Pro Modified, we see a lot of people that we normally don't see in the championship. Could they be of any importance?
Yeah, it is. It has a big impact. We've got a huge pro mod field here, probably the biggest has ever been in Europe. 33 odd pro mods entered. A lot of those cars come from here in Sweden. They haven't got the budgets to run the whole European Championship, but they're still fast cars. They enter into the event, they qualify, and suddenly they could take out one of the big hitters, one of the main runners. It's the true situation of a wild card really working in sport. And these guys run really well, and it's very encouraging. When you see that happen, for the crowd it's exciting. Could an unknown take out a champion? The answer is yes.
Yeah, some of these unknowns, you know, Keith, they do have to work hard for their money, and preparation for this level of racing is everything. Mickey Gallquist, closest to the camera here, running alongside a new man, Matthias Volken, in his Corvette. And Matthias, things don't go according to plan for him, and the car ends up on the roof. Happily, he's okay. But Mickey Gallquist, his car goes through during that qualifying run to come out and actually race. But let's get some words from Mickey about what his crew have to do in between racing rounds.
Michael, in drag racing you have to rely a lot on your mechanics, huh?
That's right. Without the mechanics, it's impossible to race. That's very important. They do really hard work on the track, and they watch what happens during the runs. We discuss, we analyze data after each run, and then we make decisions and we change things. So it's very.
When we look to the changes, it looked like you're doing a complete new engine after every run.
We're not actually. We are checking a number of things that we're always checking to make sure the engine is healthy for the next run.
Well, that's Mickey's view. Mickey's now in the car. Let's get the view of a crew member.
Frederick, Michael is ready to start now. How sure are you that the car is competitive?
No, we are pretty confident about the car. We have changed the setup a little bit. We struggled yesterday with a bad timing system, and we are hopeful right now. We are a pretty well prepared team, and we always check each other. Every step we take on the car, it's checked by at least 2 people.
Well, as the crowd await the pro mods to come out and entertain them, here is Mickey Gallquist. Keith Bartlett said there were over 30 cars qualified for this event here at Mantorp Park. Quite extraordinary. And in round number 1, because we use 16 cars in the first round in Pro Modified, get them down to 8, then to 4, then to 2. In round 1, Mickey Gallquist comes up against this man, Johan Lindberg, in his Chevrolet Nova. So if you're into hot rods, this has got to be the event for you. A 57 Chevy against the Chevrolet Nova, and it's Mickey Gallquist who takes the win, a 6:25 to 6:55. Preparation is absolutely paramount. Mickey Gallquist goes through to the final 8. Now then, this is Mats Eriksson reversing up here. Mats is another Swedish driver who builds race cars as well as races them. And he's up against a previous pro stock champion. That's Nicholas Anderson in that business coupe. You've got a 56 Crown Victoria going up against a business coupe. And look at that, Mats makes no mistake, running a great 6.12 to Nicholas Anderson's losing 6.26. Wow, this is great racing here. Here's Roger Johansson, closest to the camera in his Mustang. And Roger is in here, believe it or not, as a first alternate, but he's racing a new man to me, a man called Jan Gunnarsson from Sweden, who's in, would you believe, a Cadillac Pro Mod car. And it's Jan Gunnarsson who takes the win, a 6:22, putting away previous champion Roger Johansson with a 6:32. This is Norbert Kuno. I can always tell Norbert is going to be coming out there because the pretty lady standing out in front, but he's racing Great Britain's Andy Robinson. Now, Great Britain's Andy Robinson is not only leading the championship, but leading it fairly significantly, and he gets wasted by Norbert Kuno with a 6.36 to a losing 6.76.
Andy, what happened there?
We just shook the tyres off the start line. Maybe I should have chose the other lane, I'm not sure.
So now you're out?
Yeah, I guess now we've got to hope that someone who's maybe down in the championship goes through and we don't lose too many points.
Next time better?
Yeah, 3 weeks' time at Hockenheim, we'll do better.
Well, Andy out now of this particular event. He was leading the championship by some 28 points, but this is how our final 8 look. And the man who we're going to see first of all, this is extraordinary. The man with the pickup truck was the #1 qualifier here, the crowd favourite, fast Freddie Fagerström, and he loses out to another previous champion racing here this weekend, Urban Johansson. Urban Johansson takes the win with a 6.17 to a losing all over the track 6.72. But I tell you what, the crowd would have absolutely loved that with Freddie Fagerström keeping his foot planted all the way, entertaining the Swedish fans as he always does. Right, next pair then. It's the man who builds them and races them, Mats Eriksson, up against the man who defeated Great Britain's Andy Robinson. That's Germany's Norbert Kuno. Right, now then, this should be an interesting race between these two. Both running in the low 6s, and it's Mats away first. Huge tyre shake for Norbert Kuno, and it's Mats who takes the win. Another great run from him, 6.12 to a losing 7.80. Mats Eriksson, yeah, no wonder the crew are so happy. Mats is through into the next round. Well, I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to this. We've got a 57 Chevy coming up against a 59 Cadillac DeVille. Hey, where can you go and see racing like this? This is absolutely superb. Away from the start line then, these two. These are great hot rods, the pair of them. Start line reaction's all important, and just slightly in front, Jan Gunnarsson with that Cadillac gets out in front of Dahlqvist and takes the win. Such a close race. A 6.12 to a 6.17. Well, there you are. First time I've ever seen that Cadillac in operation, and he does away with a man who was our #2 qualifier. That was, of course, Mickey Dahlqvist. Right, next pair then. And this is a Camaro benefit. The 69 of Team Kendall, with the Lindahl twins in charge. Mickey Lindahl was our #6 qualifier, but coming up against the more modern car, the boss car of Patrick Wikström, another previous champion that we're watching racing here. And Patrick was our #3 qualifier here this weekend and takes the win. A great race again, 6.13 to a losing 6.24. And this sets up our semi-finals. Previous champion Urban Johansson against Mats Eriksson, and Jan Gunnarsson with that Cadillac up against previous champion Patrick Wikström. Hey, look at that. I mean, goodness gracious me, doesn't that epitomise the 50s cars in America? The big fins, all that imitation chrome on this machine. Absolutely fantastic. Both of these guys running with blown methanol engines, and so unusual for a car like Jan Gunnarsson's to come out and seemingly run the numbers straight away. Jan was our #7 qualifier, and away they go. Let's see how we get on. Jan Gunnarsson is out in front. Patrick Wikström has lost this one. A great win, 6.20 to a losing 6.38. Well, Jan Gunnarsson is going to be in his first FIA final. Well done to him. What a cracking race. So we got a Cadillac through into the final of Pro Modified. What is he going to be racing? Here's our next pair then. This is Urban Johansson, the 63 split window Corvette. Now, Urban is getting better and better. He was our #9 qualifier here this weekend, but he's up against the #5 qualifier, Mats Eriksson, and Urban Johansson pulls a red light. He's given it all away. Don't worry if he gets there first. It's Mats' race. He takes the win with another. He's been so consistent this weekend, a 6.12. He's been running those numbers all weekend long. You could see those black clouds in the background there. That's how the final would have looked. But of course, Mats Eriksson and Jan Gunnarsson didn't get to race their final. The rains came down, but Andy Robinson still just holds on to that #1 spot in front of Gullqvist.